In the year of 2021, after many years of searching, I was able to purchase a remote property deep in the mountains of Western Canada. I've recently decided to quit my job, move here full-time, and see if I can survive solely on a YouTube income. With no neighbors, very difficult access, endless wilderness, and a river that runs through it all, I couldn't be happier with this newfound freedom. Follow along with me for this challenging journey while I try to create a livable space in this unforgiving yet beautiful vast wilderness. Look at it, broken. Made it through the winter. Didn't need a whole lot of wood in that little tiny cabin. Still gonna have some cold nights. It's still getting below zero. Look, it's just layers of layers. This rainforest has never seen a fire in a very long time, I'm sure. Nice ground underneath. Endless amount of firewood every which way. The bear. I think it'll start heading up this way with all the wonderful smells of breakfast. I think it's just a matter of time before the bear comes up this way. Just kind of waiting for him. Done. Can finally move all this stuff out. There. And time to start working on the big house once again. Finally, I can tackle it. We did do a little bit, of course, with the eaves and finishing up the tin roof, but there's a heck of a lot more to do. Not only that, I need some doors. I was tempted to buy some, but they're so expensive, and then you get used ones that can look funny because they'll never match. So the bears are out, and they're gonna get in that building if I don't get some doors on it. So there's all kinds of nice smells. It'll draw them in there. Now the downside of building your own doors is it takes a heck of a long time, and there's lots to take into consideration when you're dealing with hinges, the door jamb, the transition plate on the bottom, the fancy stuff with the handles and the latch and lock, and there's no quick solution when it comes to building your own doors. But for the sake of personal enjoyment, I kind of would like to give it a go here. Never built a door out of a raw tree, but we have to go find a nice dead standing tree, put it on the mill up some boards, and attempt to make some doors from scratch, essentially. No shortage of dead standing, but here, for example, you have some rot, cracking everywhere, no good. Probably get some nice boards. It's a balsam fir. It was standing until recently. Could probably get some nice boards, enough for one door or more. There's some outer rot, but everything else inside is really nice. Definitely some rot, but there's some pretty good stuff in there. I don't know. There's some questionable spots on this piece of log. I see the rot moves and through closer to the heartwood up on that end. Probably not going to work on this tree. I'll have to find something else. Now, before I go and make some boards for a door and cut a tree down and all that fun stuff, this big timber's been left on the sawmill, and it's been here for a few days. So instead of moving it twice, I may as well just cut it up now into the proper boards that I need for a future project on the house, and then I can carry on and cut a tree down and make some doors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 by 6 at 18 feet. All the dimensions are right on the money. Pretty dang good there. This tree here looks like it has pretty good door potential. It's dry, dead standing. I don't know. It's rotten down here. It looks pretty good up high. If I see birds' nests or bugs or woodpecker or squirrels living in it, I'll not cut it down, but this one I don't see any of that on this one. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good. I was hoping I could get some boards out of it up higher. I don't know, it's a little bit questionable. There's a lot more, it's just a matter of how far do I want to go to get it. I see a lot more back there. I can see making doors is going to be a time-consuming ordeal, but I'd like to do it once in my life. Sure is tempting to just go and buy some old used doors somewhere for 50 bucks. I may have found something that has good door potential. No birds' nests, no homes for anything. Seems pretty good. I think I can get a couple doors out of this. I need 2. Looks pretty good up mid-section. A little rotten down here, but let's give it a try. See what happens here. I've been finding some cedar back here, and this property doesn't have cedar per se, but the area, the region has quite a bit. But it's nice to see. I can see some small ones, nothing big, but at least they're here. I have a couple. -1 spot. That's pretty lovely. It looks like fabulous wood. It seems to be all balsam fir in this area that dies standing up. So thumb width it actually gets really tight in there. Some slow growing seasons for probably 40-50 years. But there's probably 25 years, so there's 50. And it gets bigger out here. I'd say this, like, it's over 200 years old, this thing, because the grain is so tight, especially from right out there to there. It's crazy tight. You can hardly see it. Let's see what happens when we get it on that mill. I'm really far from the mill. Oh, I gotta get it back there now. Hope to get some doors. Let's get some doors. Oh, I don't know if I can even get that thing back here. I'm good. anyway, I have to get that ATV back here. Or use the power winch, which will take a long time because I'm so far from everything. Not bad. You know, I think we'll get some doors out of these 3 pieces. It's really going to slow down the process of building, but I really feel the urge to build doors from scratch, so anywho. good, but some spots a little soft. I think I'll use it anyway, and good learner door wood, so if I want to make a better one in the future I can, but it'll do the job, you know, for this year. It's dry, don't have to worry about shrinkage or warpage. Bone dry. Beautiful stuff. Last one. Wonder what's going on there. That's a bummer. Jeez. Top of the morning. It's actually probably warmer than what the thermometer's showing. I'm in the shade here, and the second you get in the sunlight, I mean, after a soggy fall and a long soggy / cold winter, I mean, this is just magic right now. It's a perfect time of year because the bugs are not out. Not really, they're starting, but they're not really out hardcore. I'd say this forest, at least at this elevation, is probably vulnerable to fire right now. And this forest typically isn't. It's a rainforest. Typically, the fires don't do well in here, so they don't seem to really ever take hold in this region. I mean, this is firewood. I could never burn this firewood. There's so much of it. But I do need to create more fire break here. Clean up more and more. It's, you know, it's going to take a long time. Having help from the neighbors and from other friends was nice. It really opened up the place, but I'm just loving every minute of this right now. Still have to set up a good solar system here this year. Getting some good, this is the older Blue Eddy here. Yeah, she's going at, I don't know if you can see that. Looks like almost 400 watts. Hasn't rained in a few days. It's, dare I say, kind of dry here. And I mean, when I say a fire could take hold now, it's because you don't have any of that. I have to be careful how I say this because I'm not an expert. But I do recall seeing this in Fort McMurray back in 2017 when much of the town got leveled by fire. It was kind of like this. The vegetation, the grass hadn't started to grow in yet. It was dry for a while. All the snow had melted. And a fire came through and just devastated everything. Kind of looks like that a little bit right now. And I haven't noticed any rain in the forecast. But like I say, it is a rainforest. So technically, I just sit here, drink coffee. Oh yeah. Where will you start today? Oh no, leaking gas. I don't know what happened, but it's leaking gas everywhere. I think there won't be any doors getting made here anytime soon. Not only that, the pull cord is not really works, and then it doesn't work. So here's what happens. I've made a to be able to climb my pole. A little bit nervous. I had to build up the ladder to go and grab the Starlink the other day so I could put it on the other side of the river. Because I was invited onto a Fishing Canada podcast, or Outdoor Radio Journal, so I think they're one in the same, or two in the same, or whatever. Anyway, it didn't go so great because I don't know what happened, but I had moved Starlink over to this great location. Never had any issues with it last summer. And you know, I grew up watching these guys on television with their fishing show, and so I was quite excited to be on that podcast. And I'll put a link actually in this video's description for anyone who wants to go and check out Outdoor Radio Journal / Fishing Canada. You could watch that podcast. It kept cutting in and out, and I was kind of bummed about it because I think it sort of ruined the flow of the conversation. So hopefully the editor over at Outdoor Radio Journal podcast can, you know, splice that together. And dang, Starlink was acting up. But mind you, I don't know if it had anything to do with the weather, but the weather was just terrible, like hail and then super dark cloud. And so I don't know what happened, but I never had any issues with my communication last year. Yeah, so here's the situation. So for all you Starlink folks and whatever, says if you're activating Wi-Fi calling for the first time, you need to be in an area with mobile coverage. Tried it many times, still can't get texts and calls to work. Some of you might say, well, you're out in the wilderness, put your communications and phone away and everything, but very much need to connect because I make my living through YouTube and it's my job basically, so need to have connection to the outside world. Not a complete hermit, you know. I have to bring the entire dish, get it, and with the router, and bring it down the river in the boat, all the way to my vehicle, up the forestry road to the highway, drive 100 kilometers to somewhere with Wi-Fi, and then I can set it up with my phone, bring it all back. It's a shame to have to go down river on a nice day like today. Tomorrow's editing day. So yeah, not only that, I have to move out all this crap here over to there. Change of plans. I think I'll move it to the back wall. It's just better that way. Nice. Okay, I'll do that. Out of the way. Time for organizing. What a beautiful day. Well, it's getting late and the tool shed is all set up, organized, and now I'm going to head into town, camp out in the vehicle. Takes me a little while to get there. It'll be dark by the time I get there, with hopes of setting up the Starlink somehow to borrow Wi-Fi and use a mobile connection and all that fancy tech stuff. And may as well pick up some groceries when I'm there. I'm going to come back the next morning, so here I am on my way back the next day. Oops, home. Ow. It's not much of an overhang, but the building itself is high off the ground, and the point of an overhang is often to keep weather from splashing down and against the building. I guess a short overhang isn't so bad here, but I do have to build this bottom side down another inch or so, and then I'll put some softening in here, cover this all up, and then paint everything. We just have to fill this in here keep it a bug-free zone, no bugs in there, but otherwise I should have primed that, but I'm rushing a bit. Anyway, that's what we have for softening and airflow. Everything's going to be satin, all this, all that. Tight fit. This is a good axe. I've had it for a while, but it's no good for pounding big steel spikes or lumber or something, because the end is like the backside here is sort of oval. So every time I hit something, it either, if it's wood, it breaks it. If it's a big steel spike, it just glances off of it. So I'm just going to flatten this. Don't want the river stealing my precious ladder. No one wants to take it. Why don't you take my ladder? I don't know if that'll do it. I think I'll tie it off as well. Tie it up. I don't know if that'll do much. Definitely put a rope around it though. Good morning. Rain has slowed up. I was going to finish painting the eaves on the gables. A little damp still. I'm going to wait. I know I've explained this before, but just a quick recap. Sort of would like to just build out this on the front of the house here with just sort of a screened in deck that comes out like so. I think it'll balance out the building too. Put a bit of a rush on it here and build it out in the screened in area, and I'm actually going to do the same on the back. Just hear me out. It's gonna look okay when it's done. Same deal. And the idea is I have wooden pilings under the core of the building. I just would like all the rain to be shed off of and away from the main building itself. I'd like those pilings to last a lifetime and keep everything dry under there. And sort of the screened in area on the back, I'm not going to bother with any doors. The cabin is way too big for one person. Roof like such coming down, screened in, good storage area. The screened in area is not as wide as the building. It's just from there over to there. It'll line up with the partition walls inside. I'll frame off of that. And then on the corners, you'll just have kind of just a bit of a deck and then entrance into the screened in area. Good for bug season. Like I say, I think it'll balance out the building. More importantly, I just would like to keep moisture away from the underside of the building and not have any rot on the wooden pilings. These exterior pilings possibly could. I would have liked to have used concrete or something, but it was such a major effort to get it up here. You know, I could have built a lot smaller and more simple, but I don't know. I went too big, you know that? That's okay. Better to be too big than too small, but when it's said and done, yeah, I like to think it'll look okay, so let's have at it. We'll start on that extension. I'm going to try these screw piles. Okay. Comes with instructions. There's instructions. Looks like here's a set screw. Loosen that. Everything comes out, and it looks like this seats onto that. Then you rotate it in the ground. Blah blah blah. Whoops.
can just adjust the height if I need to. Yeah. My horse. Oh, this one's a little tougher than the others. Come on, baby. Oh my goodness. I don't think there's going to be any, you know, frost heaving or anything like that. These, come on. Yeah, baby. Get that lumber mill going, and which means changing out the motor again. Fortunately, I have a backup motor. Need some post cut for that, and plus other lumber, so back to the old motor.